This is going to be some training videos on the Ukrainian Presidential Brigade practicing their weapon skills with rocket launchers and artillery. And we're going to break down exactly what it is that this, what their role is on the battlefield. So let's just take a look for it. Oh no, copyrighted music. Okay, so I want to point out, this looks like a wide variety of indirect fire weapons. And you can see here, this looks like maybe not quite a 155, but another indirect fire artillery. That's a huge artillery. That is a huge shell, by the way. I want to just back this up and point this out. This is way bigger than a standard 155. This is huge. That may be a rocket. Okay, I'm going to turn this off because it's almost certainly going to get copyright claimed. But you guys can see they are also practicing with RPGs. So yeah, this is an interesting sort of unit specialty. Since this is classically like an anti-armor weapon, they also have, though, those indirect fire weapons. You can see, YouTube, don't be mad. It's just training. Though certainly practicing your small arm skills is essential. Right, they also got mortars. So what I think this is, you got to understand that you've got your military specialty, which in this case seems to be some sort of fires unit, right? So they handle, looks like 120 millimeter mortars. They handle, like larger artillery pieces. Again, not 155s. But the problem is they're also individual soldiers, and they have to work their individual soldier skills. Again, mortars are not that far behind the front lines, so it's absolutely possible that they might find themselves having to defend a position using RPGs, using small arms. And so likely this is a training event that takes them through and gives them proficiency in all of their assigned weapons, from high-level artillery pieces all the way down to probably their individual assigned weapons. Again, okay, that was interesting. I want to point out that mortars, we think of mortars classically as whistling and then hitting the ground and exploding, but mortars also drop flares, and these can be really valuable for marking targets, for illuminating the battlefield, sometimes even just to deter enemy from going through a certain position. We actually used mortars for this when we were confident but not certain that we were observing Taliban fighters like moving into a position. We actually put a flare directly over their heads so that they understood that we see you, we know you're up to no good, and we can reach out and touch you with no notice. And sure enough, those individuals just sort of backed away from that position when we realized that they weren't as sneaky as they thought they were. Yeah, this looks like more indirect fire, right? Such a long arty piece. Yeah, this is a fires unit for sure. This looks like one of those converted anti-aircraft weapons. So it looks like it used to be an anti-aircraft weapon, but now at that low an angle, it looks like it's almost between a direct fire and indirect fire weapon. So it's probably reaching out 2 or 3 kilometers, maybe more. Again, it's not a bad way to provide fire superiority. Theirs looks like a Ma-Deuce mounted on a Humvee. So you see what we're talking about. And if you remember, these artillery rounds have to get into position somehow. And so in this case, what they're doing is actually, again, they're probably towed into position with these Humvees. So of course, you've got to be proficient at doing force protection, protecting your Humvees, defending your convoy, and rolling out the Ma-Deuce and getting proficient on that is important. Yep, and see, there's this convoy of all of these fires, the whole unit with all this different capabilities, packing up and moving out. So this is a great way to just think about how training happens.